happened to us.
Oh,
Shoot,
yeah.
hey Jebediah, won't you tell a story?
All right. I mean, back last October, we was gonna have the tent service down there at the college town, and got there about dinner time on Saturday, and a couple of us thought might get us a mouthful of something to eat.
Yeah. So we hopped off the truck, and we followed this little bunch of people through this little bitty patch of woods there. And we come up on a sign, and it says, "Get something to eat, cheers." Yeah, so we got 2 hot dogs and a big orange drink. It was really good.
But before we could get a mouthful of food, a whole lot of people began to come up around us and got us to where we couldn't eat nothing. And kind of up like I dropped my big orange drink. Well, after a while, then people commenced to pushing and shoving, and I don't know what all. There weren't so much we could do except go along there with them.
Well, we commenced to going through a bunch of gates and doors and stuff. And on top of one was this guy, and he looks down on us and says, "Ticket, please." And I said, "I don't have a ticket. And I don't know where I'm going." And he says, "Well, hurry in and hurry back out." And I said, "I'll come out first chance I get." So I did.
Well, then people must have got to where they was going, because they parted, they did. We could all see pretty good, we could. And what we seen was this whole raft of people sitting on these 2 great banks they had. And they was looking out over this pretty green cow pasture. But someone had took and drew white lines all in it and drove posts in it. And I don't know what all.
Yeah, and I seen these girls dancing around in these little bitty short dresses. But I seen 5 or 6 convicts are running around and blowing whistles. So I decided we'd sit down and see what was going to go on down there.
Well, about the time we got sat down good, 30 or 40 men come running out one end of a great big outhouse down there. And the bank full where we were sitting got up and hollered. Woo! About that time, 30 or 40 men come running out the other end of that outhouse. And the bank full and the other bank full, they got up and hollered.
Moved a little bit.
Well, now, when we looked down there, we saw these men getting 2 little bitty bunches. They did. Real close together. They voted, and then they selected 1 man apiece. Then 2 men went out to the center of that old cow pasture and shook hands like they hadn't seen one another in a long time.
And a convict went over where them 2 men were standing and pulled out a quarter, and they commenced to augmenting right then. After a while, I figured out what it was they was augmenting for. It seemed both bunches of them men wanted some train-shaped old pumpkin, and I know they couldn't eat the dang thing because they kicked it and threw it all night and never did bust.
It sure did. Well, what we seen was both bunches of people wanted this pumpkin. And when one bunch would get it, the other bunch would get so mad that they would run at each other and kick each other and stomp on one another and throw each other down.
I got nightmares.
They grinded their feet into one another, and I don't know what all.
Hey, and as soon as one of those got hurt, they towed him off and sent another on. They did that the whole day we sat there. Well, after a little bit of watching, that fellow that asked for a ticket came up and says, "Well, you guys are going to have to leave because what you're doing, you have to have a ticket for it." And I said, "Well, all right." So we left.
Yeah, we did.
And friends, to this day, I don't know what it was they were doing down there. I think it was some kind of contest where those bunch of men wanted to get that funny-shaped pumpkin and run from one side of that cow pasture to the other without trying to get knocked down or stepping in something.
I believe they called it
football.